Hi, welcome to WMD, that's Woody's Modelling Diary. And today we're having a look at my last great project layout, my 00 gauge layout, which seems to be taking an eternity to build. Not featured on the channel for a while. During the summer I didn't manage to get much done, but there has been progress, and it's this board in particular. The layout's split into 4 boards, 2 end boards, 2 middle boards. As you can see, there's starter some rudimentary scenery there, and we'll talk about that in another video another time once that's progressed. But today we're going to have a look at some wiring. I've installed the point motors and wired up the various power feeds on that board. So let's have a look at the underside. Right, we've got the baseboard on its side to have a look at the underside. As you can see, this layout is not an exhibition layout, it's more of a movable layout, in as much as if I ever need to move it out of here, it's capable of coming to parts without destruction. And that's an important factor. Sometimes people build beautiful layouts and then find they've got to move it, and there's no way of moving it out without destroying a lot of the scenery and track work. So something to bear in mind if you're thinking of building a largish layout. But anyway, let's have a look at the wiring. As you can see, there's quite a bit of wiring. When DCC first came out, people said, oh, you just need 2 wires, you do away with a sort of spaghetti of wires. You can run it on 2 wires, but I think the advice from most people is that you really need to wire up each section of track, just to ensure that you've got continuity. And it does build in a little bit of redundancy. If you get a dodgy joint somewhere, you've probably got another wire which will still carry on doing the job for you. So again, bear that in mind. What have we got here? Well, the white and brown wires are all obviously color coded for feeds to the track. They sort of go into various points where I've used these DMG supplied bus connectors or modules, and these are them. So I'm just a satisfied customer of DMG Electech. They do advertise in the modelling press, and I have covered these before, but absolutely brilliant piece of kit. You can put 12 wires each side and you've got 2 feeding out, or you can put 24 and loop that and in effect use that for 24 wires of the same polarity. But exceedingly good. They sort of feed into various points, and eventually they feed up to these 2 sort of chocolate box connectors, as they're termed, which are these. I can get that into focus, and basically these just clip together so you can separate them. So eventually there'll be a loom going off to a control panel when I build it, and you can see I've also got some red, black and green wires feeding in, which is this Gauge Master product, which is a triple wire. Great for points, which it's designed for. Obviously you've got the 3 wires that you need, and that saves a lot of hassle and makes the wiring a little bit neater. And what I would say is, if you were building a exhibition layout or a layout where it's difficult to get to, I'd probably put a chock block sort of about there, so that if you ever have a problem with the point motor, you just need to disconnect the chock block and take the point motor out, rather than trying to solder wires underneath the baseboard, and just swap it as a unit. And the actual point motors themselves are mounted with these Pico PL9 mounting plates, which are designed specifically for the solenoid point motor. And again, that saves a lot of hassle. I've covered that in a separate video as well. Very good. I'd highly recommend them. It makes an ideal way of mounting your point motor. Try to keep the wiring as neat as possible. I know there are people out there who will be able to route it and it will look something akin to something you'd find in an aeroplane or something of that nature, or a car wiring loom. All very neat. I'm quite happy with that. It just makes it easy to I'll start that again. It makes it easy to trace faults if you do get it. There is a color coded to it, and it just works that way for me. So I hope that at least gives you some background as to how this is wired, and possibly gives you a little bit of idea of how you might be wiring your own layout if you're coming towards that. So there we have it. I hope, as I say, something is of interest there. But let's get back to the main point of this layout and run some trains. In fact, I can hear one on the track a bit away from me. That's a real one. Anyway, let's get some trains running. I hope you enjoyed seeing a few trains run. This is what I'm building the layout for, so I can sit here and watch the trains go by. It's certainly not a short-term project. This has taken me about 3 years so far to get to this stage. I think it'll probably take another 3 years yet before I finish it, but it is a hobby, and it's about enjoying yourself and having some fun in spare time. And whilst I don't proclaim to be any particular expert or fantastic modeler, I do hope that some of these videos at least inspire people. Perhaps people might have a look and think I can do better than Woody, and you probably can do. But sometimes it's just getting people to actually pick up a few things and start. So I hope that some of the things which I show you and some of the things I tell you might be of interest, might be of use, and get you modelling. But in the meantime, this is December 2024. It's getting on towards Christmas, so I do hope you have a good one if I don't see you before then. And have a great new year, 2025. Wow, doesn't time fly? Anyway, thanks ever so much to those of you who subscribed. I always say this, I'm amazed that people subscribe to me, but it is very much appreciated. Thank you very much. But anyway, you take care of yourselves and we'll see you soon. Bye.